Well, there's no landscape that anyone's experienced before where you become in this situation, but we've been in this little dance before. And of course, what we've got is a very different situation now where we're not learning to live with cases and we've got a new variant and it's ripping through society. Everything has a cause and effect, right? If you make people play the games with depleted resources, you're going to potentially compromise the competition. If you take the games off, you're going to compromise your relationship with the broadcasters, and so on and so forth. So you've got a cause and effect on everyone. So I suppose you've got to look at which is the lesser of all evils. I actually think, as I'm thinking in camera, in terms of in the moment, I think there is merit behind what Thomas Frank is saying, which is the traditional nature of the fixture list determines that Christmas is a huge part of the football calendar. It operates with such resonance to the society, to the broadcasters, to the players, to everybody, and to the amount of games that get played. I would be thinking about the nature of the country, the nature of the circumstances, where we are, all that's going on, and perhaps taking a set of fixtures out and saying these fixtures that lead up to Boxing Day, which is what Thomas Frank has advocated, might be the sensible decision to damage limitate what could be coming down, which is clearly we are going to see. We're seeing it in this office. We're seeing it in society. Whatever it is, however we view cases rather than hospitalizations, we are where we are, and football is a poster boy for how people will lever that and say, well, look at what football's doing, and look at how football's being allowed to stay open, and look at the fact that football's being able to put 75,000 fans inside the stadium. Right. So it needs to look as if it's doing what it should be doing. I'm not an advocate of opening football stadiums and playing games just because we want a stable diet of football. We want a stable diet of football insofar as we can sustain it based upon the climate that we play in. I would probably, given the fact that every club is ripping through, because we know that this particular brand of the virus is circumnavigating or circumventing the vaccination. So it's going to be a lot of people are going to get it. I'm not terrified of it. A lot of people are, but football has a certain look. So I would probably say we could sit down for 7 or 8 days, let it flow its course, and then you're going to see it settle. And you're going to see players
then regroup. So call it off the next 7 or 8 days
and play the Boxing Day games.
Right.
And then you've taken away the contention. Football looks like it's operating with a very sensible balance sheet in mind. It's not ideal. It's not perfect, but it might be the lesser of two evils. It's a bit reactive, but we are living in a reactive world, and the momentum is going to build. It's going to build, you can't stop it. It's a kind of expression from your ghastly little gobbling over in Scotland. It's a tsunami of situations manifesting themselves. So I think the lesser of all evils is probably, and I don't like the reactionary side of things, but we are where we are, is to say, settle down, perhaps take some of the steam out of it, and football govern itself by saying, we'll take this raft of fixtures out and we'll reconvene for Boxing Day.
As a lump sum of fixtures. Because we can't go on the way we're going. I mean, Premier League guidance on postponements, there's no number threshold. It's all judged case by case. You can't go on like that.
The challenge is, right, if we lived in a sensible world, we'd be able to say, right, everybody that's vaccinated can play. But then the argument, what would happen is, how many vaccinations have you had? Have you had your booster? Who's not had a vaccine? Oh, he hasn't been vaccinated. He's an anti-vaxxer. And you'd have the whole culture of football being unpicked because it's already beginning to start.
Yeah.
And because we're looking at it now as a terrifying thing, everyone has to react in a certain way. I'm not in that camp, but I think football's going to have to flex and do something to take control of its own destiny before its destiny is taken away from it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.